Unacademy. Let's crack it.
One RTI applicant came to me, Right to Information under the Right to Information Act. The application is submitted, the second appeal is to the Central Information Commission, and the Central Information Commission has to take a decision on whether the information is to be provided by the concerned agency or not to the applicant. One such applicant came to me on behalf of a certain community who lives in the southern part of Delhi. There's very people lived over there. The people were the backwards and Dalits community, and they are not very poor, but they are not very rich also. And it used to happen that their children used to go to schools, government schools, from their colony to government schools which were across the railway line. Now, in the morning in Delhi, what happens is there's a huge fog right in the morning of 6:30 or so when the school starts. So, and there is a very busy line, railway line starting from Delhi to Ghaziabad. Anybody has an idea of these Delhi railway tracks. And the morning time, the frequency is quite high, the frequency of trains. Now, these small children, they by the time because there was no overhead, this call it the across the railway line, there's an overhead passages. They were not there, and they used to cross these railway lines, and there used to be a lot of accidents because by the time they hear the sound of the horns of the railway engines, it was too late. So there were a lot of accidents used to happen on that truck line, and then railway had decided to construct an overbridge. But that the construction was pending for almost 6-7 years. It was not really progressing. So the community, the leader of the community, they approached the CIC with this thing, how much the fund is spent and what is the status of progress. The railways, as usual, they took it as a routine work, and the contractor had run away, and there was no budget, etc., etc. So the case came before me as a CIC, and I took it as not as a routine case, but as a challenge, which will be actually the end point. Because as you know, RTI is a grievance redressal. It's not to be getting done something. It is only giving income. But I really went a little beyond the scope of the work, the scope of the act, and I decided that this overbridge has to be constructed, because otherwise the children there are a lot of accidents, and they're in a very bad shape in that colony. So I remember I case continued for 1 year. Normally it takes a few sittings and maybe a month and a half and 2 months, and the case decisions are given, the judgments are given. But in this case, continued for full 1 year, because the railways will come, the engineers will come, CPIOs, and they will give some stories like there's no budget, there is no contractor run away. So right from the fixation of the new contractor to the allocation of budget, they didn't have the budget had lapsed. Government it happens, budget lapses every year. New year, the new budget like that. So right from there until the end, and when at the end the problem was the overbridge was constructed, but who will inaugurate that? The VIP supposed to be the minister, the then minister, railway minister, the deputy minister. So his time was not available. I mean, his office was not. So I personally rang up the office of the honorable minister, and I got time from the minister, honorable minister. And also, honorable minister was very happy actually. Nobody even told him that such a thing had happened, and they are waiting for the inauguration so that the boys could be saved, the young children could be saved. He was very happy to inaugurate, and I can assure you that the entire problem of the community is solved, and they have given me that the community has given me. It's still in my office. I've got a small office. It is a Samman Patra or something. They said so. I just this incident shows that a bureaucrat, what a bureaucrat can do. I mean, I was not actually a bureaucrat. It was a kind of a quasi-judicial. I was a judge, like, and but I was background of a bureaucrat. This shows that one can, for the sake of the public welfare, can go beyond the strict confines of a rule or regulation and can do wonders. There's a lot of power we can assume ourselves, and I can assure you, friends, दोस्तों जो ये जो है ना इसमें कोई कोई कोर्ट बा कोई एपेक्स कोर्ट बा सुप्रीम कोर्ट हाई कोर्ट लोअर कोर्ट कोई नहीं आएगा इनफैक्ट they want people, the bureaucrats to work. They want them to deliver to for public good. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हम हमारे बारे में सोचते रहते हैं, हम कोई पब्लिक वेलफेयर पब्लिक गुड के बारे में सोचते नहीं रहते. So this is a good lesson. It happened only a few years ago. Only it's not an old story. It happened in 2017-18. तो दो 3-4 साल की बात है. तो मैं ये एक आप जो दोस्तों से शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. आप इस सर्विस में आके any civil service you can do so many opportunities. We are begging, the country is begging for the young civil servants like you to join and do public service, real in the real sense.